Nobel laureate Prof. Wole Soyinka has said he hopes Peter Obi, a former Labour Party presidential candidate, will not contest the next election. Wole Soyinka said this in a recent interview with Noble Nigeria, arguing that the actions of the Labour Party leadership in the last election showed that he and his team were not fit to govern Nigeria.
Well, I hope for the sake of the nation that he doesn't express interest in the next election. Because for me as a leader, if there was any proof that he was unfit to lead that country, it's in the conduct which he encouraged among his followers. I know for a fact, and I can give you an instance which prove that he was in control of those forces, to be nice and cozy.
So he really did, yes.
And I saw and I read his statement about that meeting afterwards. The statement was a contrast.
The literary icon further accused Obi of controlling the online trolls responsible for the insults directed at him and other prominent figures who raised critical questions about the party's campaign during the electioneering period.
Well, again, it has to do with education. I must tell you, by the way, that I didn't read all this, but of course, certain links were sent to me, especially when factual errors would be the wrong, when facts were being manufactured, quote unquote, being manufactured. I read these things, I was disgusted. There's no other word for it. I really was disgusted. And I know that it was, I realized, of course, it was orchestrated. Internet has become so promiscuous and even venal. I know that there's a relay, I use the word relay mechanism, which is triggered into action by those who control what we call the trolls of the internet. Nobody, anybody on this earth who thinks he can stop me telling the truth as I see it needs to go and have his or her head examined. It's as elementary as that. But it was depressing to see those who wanted to be political leaders encouraging that kind of action, that kind of attitude in the youth. And my mind went to the expression, they don't know what they're doing. Those who sow the wind will reap.
Soyinka was constantly insulted by Obi's supporters, known as obedience on social media, especially X.
The whirlwind. These very trolls, these foot soldiers whom they think, these myrmidons of hate, whom they've trained in that aspect. One of these days, they'll be astonished they will turn on them and teach them a lesson. And so my attitude was very blasé, to remain blasé about the whole thing. But it is, for me, a sad phenomenon, especially for those who want to lead a multi-textured society, different religions, different ethnic groups, different worldviews, who actually want to preside over such group, as one. It means that they've already declared themselves incompetent to lead such an entity.